We are going to complete 15.3 work together. We have 3 steps. The first step says that we're going to calculate depreciation expense for a color printer costing $950. The printer has an estimated salvage value of $150 and a useful life of 5 years. So the first step is we are just going to calculate the annual depreciation expense. Now, they've put this great box table for us together where we're really just filling in the numbers to calculate our annual depreciation. Just so you know, you will need to be able to figure this out on your own. So you will not always have this nice little table laid out for you. So we need to know the 3 things that they give us in the directions here when we're figuring out our annual depreciation. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take our original cost, which was $950, and we're going to subtract from it our estimated salvage value, which is $150. Okay, and that gives us then our estimated total depreciation expense of $800. So we're saying over the time that we own that printer, it's going to depreciate in value of $800. Now, we're going to take that times the years of estimated useful life. We are estimating that we will use it for 5 years. So we're taking our total depreciation expense divided by 5 years. And that gives us $160 of annual depreciation expense. We are saying that the printer is going to depreciate $160 every single year. Great. Next step. Okay, step number 2 then says that we're going to calculate our book value. It says calculate the book value of the color printer at the end of its 2nd year of service. Now, this information up here is just showing us our annual depreciation expense and how we figured it out. Now what we're going to do, again, they're not always going to give us this table, so make sure that you're really paying attention to how we're getting this number. So here we're going to take the original cost of the printer, and they're asking us after the 2nd year of service to figure out the book value. So depreciation for year 1 is going to be $160. Depreciation for year 2 is going to be $160. So we're looking at, after its 2 years of use, what is that printer going to be worth? So we'll take $950 minus $160 minus $160. We should then get our ending book value after year 2 of $630. I'm going to grade step 2. And moving on to our last step, where we are going to put in our accumulated depreciation. So it says on December 31st, Southside Electric determined its total depreciation expense. Total depreciation expense is $2,150 for office equipment and $7,440 for store equipment. We're going to journalize the adjusting entries then for accumulated depreciation. Now, we don't want to make this step harder than it is. They've already told us what our expense is for each of them. We just simply need to record it. Up here, all they give us is our chart of accounts. I'm going to go down. I'm going to put in the date. It's already labeled up here as adjusting entries, so I don't have to worry about putting that in. So I'm putting in the date of the 31st. And now I'm going to do that adjustment for depreciation for office equipment. Now, remember, we're going to debit the expense account. So if I need a reminder of what that account is, I'm looking under my expense accounts. Here we see our 2 depreciation expense accounts. Depreciation expense office equipment, depreciation expense store equipment. So I'm going to do office equipment first. So depreciation expense office equipment. And then I'm going to do it for the exact amount that they told us, $2,150. And then I have to credit, and it's actually straight across on our chart of accounts, I'm going to credit this accumulated depreciation. Oh my goodness, I can't spell today. Office equipment. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to do it for our store equipment. So it's going to look just like the other one. We're going to debit depreciation expense store equipment for the amount that they tell us, $7,440. And we're going to credit our accumulated depreciation store equipment for $7,440. I'm going to grade my final step, and everything looks good. So now you can go on and you can complete the 15.3 work together. And then there is one more section in chapter 15, so it'll be moving on to 15.4.